Hi, my friend. It is Monday and it is Happy Everything Day. We're doing the Sew Along and I'm Pat Sloan. It's from my Holiday Celebrations book. And this week, it is one of the blocks that I had planned on giving you extra. It's right here, the piece block. It's one of the extra ones. And I'm giving you exactly what I had planned, months and months ago when I designed all this. And it's a lucky shamrock. Ta-da! And I think actually I could use some lucky shamrocks right now. It just feels like that way because life's kind of crazy, life's kind of crazy, and it would be nice to be able to have a little luck to go along in the next few weeks. For those of you who didn't watch my Saturday video, I told you that I got my surgery appointment for my basal cell carcinoma on my nose, which they have to investigate it and see how big it is, take it out, fix it up, etc. That'll be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so about a week from today. And I'll be thinking about lucky shamrocks. This block is a single block pattern that you'll make 4 of them and then set them how you like. I set mine so that the border part is on the outside. So here is the pattern. It's from my friend Jane Davidson. She did a free pattern for our Splendid Sampler Sew Along a couple of years ago. Now when Jane did hers, I'm going to pop it up here so you can see mine. And when Jane did hers, she rotated the shamrocks, which is also super cute. She rotated before she put the sashing on it, the 2 sides of the sashing. So they're rotated on the inside. You could also rotate these parts, but this is how I did mine. And let's look at the colors for it. So before we look at the fabric for the shamrock, I wanted to show you the merry little houses. I was getting some project stuff down and I thought, oh, let's just put that up. It could be longer for this wall, but it's great above my sofa when I put it there or in my hallway. Each of the houses it's in the book, it's in our holiday celebrations. Each of the houses has a different center in it. They're all scroll in, and I used all kinds of fun fabrics that I had collected over the years to do all of the middles. And so that was extremely fun. So this is a super cool way to use your Christmas fabrics. Okay, so now we're going to get to doing the shamrock. Now Jane's shamrock is this in repeat, and so we're doing 4 of the shamrock blocks, and they kind of do this little spiral, which is super darling. And this was Jane's bonus that we had during the Splendid Sampler Sew Along. Now I am going to do my shamrock in yellow and some gray on the outside. So I wanted to show you how I looked at the fabric options. Always options, lots of options. So first of all, I could do each of the yellow squares something different, but I wanted to control that a little bit because the squares are only 2 inches finished. So that's not very big. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do each one in its own fabric. And so I got out a bunch of them and looked at, how did they look together? And I thought, okay, now what would I eliminate? So that's a way to do this sort of selection process, is put the fabrics together and then remove. You can take a picture, and that helps a lot, but remove what is kind of not blending, because this is a small unit, the center part, and they're small shapes. So I'm going to take this one out. So when I do that, there. So that makes all of this, they kind of look really great together. I think the other one, I'm debating back and forth. I might remove this one just because it has a lot of print, and when I take it down to a 2-inch square, do I want that? And I think I'm going to remove this one because it reads really, really solid, and so I don't want to read solid. So that leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. So I'll use 4 of these, and then for the stem, I thought, oh, well, got to have a stripe, of course. Now the stem is going to go on a background fabric. Each one will have one of their own background fabrics. And I thought about the yellow, but it doesn't pop enough. And then I found a gray stripe. Apparently I need to buy more stripes in different colors. Now the gray doesn't work. This gray doesn't work because it just blends right in. I also had found this gray, which gives the feel of a stripe, and that works really well on here. So I think I'm going to go with this one. So it's a little bit stronger against these backgrounds. So I'll have like one background and one shamrock like this with a stem. And then the outside will be 4 of these. So one of these I will eliminate. I don't know, I might take out the bees because the bees are wonderful, but the strips rather are only 1 inch wide, so you really lose a lot of that design. And so I probably will just go with those 4 for around the shamrock. This is how I starch the fabric. I just sprayed like this part here, like the bottom half, like just from here over on each one, and then the 4th one just sort of like that bottom rectangle, and then lay them here to dry. Now I'm ready to press them and use them. When you're sewing these shamrocks, these do not have any seam allowance out here, so when you fold them under, they will have a flatter edge on them, so where my finger is, like that. So you can see they're going to come right out to the edge, and that is not wrong. This is how it will look. Well, you'll see that I decided not to use this dot. So I had the dot, but it just was not speaking to me. Here, I'll put 2 of them. See, let's just do that real quick. We can lay them out. I cut them and everything, and they were the last ones. I decided to leave them as the last one. And they're okay, but they make this sort of eye-grabbing statement, to me. They make my eye go to that strip rather than blending more nicely like the one that I ended up using. So I decided not to use those ones, which is totally fine. So I realized too, this is going to go up here, but I also realized that I need to have a strip that goes in here, which I forgot about. As I kept laying these up there. So I've cut the strip for up above. I'm going to go ahead, then I'll cut this one, and that way after next week this whole section can be finished. Okay, wreaths, everything wreaths. I'm still trying, even though I'm going to have no surgery, I'm still going to try to get these wreaths done maybe by Thanksgiving, or, well, I don't know. It'll be by the time I get the wreath, by the time I do this, I don't know. We'll see. So here's one I added borders on it. I used the jelly rolls, and so I liked the word print. So I put the word print on the top and the bottom, and then I didn't have enough of the others to do one on each side. So I just did half and half. So I think that turned out super cute, doing it half and half like that. It's fun. And then the other one, where I used kept it with the more traditional colors in the middle for my dad and his wife. This one I'm going to leave just this way. And so I need to get them basted now. I'm just going to use my wave stitch on the baby lock here. I'm going to take this guy and just set it on the wave stitch and go poop, 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 and they'll be done. So put some binding on it. I also did a few crumb blocks. Let me show you these, because these were kind of fun. This one, where is it? Look at I love when this happens. See the little dove face? Where is it? I can't see through the fabric. Yeah, there it is. See the little face of the dove? Whoops, isn't he cute? So I had these half square triangles, so I sort of stuck them as a row on the top, keeping these all the Christmas fabrics. And then the same thing happened here, where I had Christmas fabrics, I had half square triangles, I messed around with them just to give some sort of different effect, just to play around. Then I had all these cutoffs from doing the other Christmas quilt, was the banana cake quilt. Yeah, so that was strips that were left over, and I just kept sewing them together and made them as the outer border. That all, I don't know, that all was fun. It worked out really good. I was you know, sometimes you just never know until you start playing around with those. They're okay. I like them. If I did a whole bunch of Christmas ones, they would be really cute. One of our friends sent me a picture of those crumb blocks with like a drop shadow setting, and that's really neat how to use it. So if you have a bunch of blocks that you can make up in the same way. Okay, let's go back to the quilt on the wall, the Happy Everything. Because I have to tell you, you should never get too cocky with what you say as a quilter. I am guilty, because you remember the other day I'm like, oh, I just never have to think to myself, I need to buy some gray fabric. So funny. Yes, so the other day I was like, you know, I need some more gray fabric. I need some different shades of it than I have. So I went searching, and yes, I did click search for gray fabric and found a couple things. One of them is what I'm going to use for the border. So I bought this as my border fabric. It is this nice medium gray with a yellow branchy flower things on it. And I think this is absolutely perfect. It just looks fabulous. There is companion prints to that. I forget the name of it, but I will link it today in my website post. So that looks, I think that looks pretty good. You know, it's not that wide final, but I think that'll be good because I want to keep that feeling of that gray yellow. I will audition some of those bigger pieces that I have, my older pieces, and see if I like those, because, you know, I don't have to choose yet. I have a little ways to go before I have to choose. Then the other thing, as I was going through the rolling assistants, these carts, and I found on the bottom of this cart, I've forgotten about these, the Bee Fabric Collection with yellows and white, and there's black in there, so I'm not using the black, but now I have more yellow and white that I can use in this quilt for some of the other blocks. So I'm like, how did I miss that? You know, I don't know. I have a roll call. Mail call. I have a mail call. So silly. I'm so silly. Okay, this beautiful card is from Gail. And Gail bought me a cup of coffee, or a couple cups of coffee. Gail, thank you so much. I love it. Look at that blue hydrangea. That is just the perfect shade of blue hydrangea. Mwah. Thank you so much. I am going to enjoy my coffee with what you have sent to me. Okay, what do I have here? This is from Elaine. Look at the card. Isn't that neat? I really like it. Looks like a quilt. And she sent me a bunch of super cute edges. Look at the hearts. And then here the hearts, it's more hearts on there. And I think there was something else. It had a cute saying. Oh, here, look. The little ducks. See them? Ah, so darling, so darling. And then the last card was from Dottie. No, Dorothy. No, Dottie. It's Dottie. It's from Dottie. Look, the beach scene. Isn't that beautiful? I love the beach scene, Dottie. And she sent me 2 pieces of just beautiful fabric. Look at that blue. That is such a great blue. And beautiful hearts. The Valentine fabric. This would be cute as a bag, don't you think? Look at that. Look how sweet that is. Thank you, Dottie. Thank you, everybody, for thinking of me, of the mail call. Thank you for all the wishes for my upcoming nose surgery. It's just very wonderful. You've shared what you've done. You shared what you've gone through. Your family members have. And for the most part, most people, the end result of basal cell carcinoma surgery is fine. Everybody ends up fine. My dad has had it. My mom's husband has had it. They turn out fine. It's just a sort of gruesome part to get there. From the surgery to the fine part, you know, it's going to be a couple of weeks of icky, you know, probably painful stuff. If it's bigger than, you know, than it needs to be, like it doesn't need to be very big, okay? But I don't know till I go in. So it's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I will remind you, because I'll have a couple of days where I won't have a video because I know I'm not going to feel up to it. And also there's Thanksgiving, which I'm already scheduled to not have a video. But I will have something, and I will have updates on my website. So I'll keep you up to date. You're going to make a block now. Let's go back for our lucky block, our Shamrock block from for the happy everything. So I love you. Mwah. See you online.